You know, the world feels, well, pretty unpredictable these days, right? So it's no surprise a lot of us are thinking more about security, about having a real safety net for our families. Today, we're going to go deep underground to explore the ultimate backup plan.
So, let me just ask you straight up, when things get shaky, what's your plan? For a growing number of people, the answer isn't just about stocking up on canned goods anymore. It's about building a fortress.
Okay, let's dive right into this. And look, this isn't some wacky, fringe idea anymore. The search for real, tangible security is driving a massive boom in a very, very specific kind of real estate: doomsday bunkers. So what's really driving this? It's not just fear of one single thing. It's a reaction to this constant feeling of uncertainty. You've got global instability, wild weather events, and of course, the memory of a global pandemic is still fresh in our minds. But at its core, it's really about taking back control. It's the ultimate way of saying, if the world outside gets chaotic, I'm going to control my own destiny.
So when I say bunker, I need you to just forget that old image of a dusty concrete cellar with a few cobwebs. What we're talking about today is on a whole other level.
And here's the key, right? It's those two ideas smashed together: reinforced shelter and self-sustaining habitat. A modern bunker isn't just built to survive a catastrophe. It's engineered so that you can live, and maybe even live well, long after the outside world has become unsafe. And this is what makes it a habitat, not just a box. We are talking about some seriously sophisticated life support systems. You've got filtered air, your own source of clean water, power that's completely off-grid, huge food supplies, and security that would make a bank jealous. It's basically a self-contained ecosystem.
Right, but here's the thing. Not all bunkers are created equal. Not by a long shot. The variety out there is honestly mind-blowing. From something purely practical to, well, an underground palace.
For most people, the entry point is the steel bunker. Think of it like a submarine for the soil. It's this strong, round metal tube that gets buried deep. It's all about function. It's designed to be incredibly tough against pressure and anything else the earth throws at it.
Now, a big step up from that is the reinforced concrete fortress. These are often custom jobs, built to military-grade specs. We're talking unbelievable durability against things like blasts, and you can design them with multiple rooms just like a regular house.
And then you get to the luxury havens, and these are just on another planet. These aren't shelters. They are literally underground mansions. We're talking multiple bedrooms, chef's kitchens, gyms, movie theaters, even hydroponic gardens for fresh vegetables. This is about surviving in absolute style.
It gets even bigger than that. You have companies like Vivos creating, get this, entire underground communities. These are basically subterranean towns where multiple families live with shared stuff like medical clinics and even schools. It's no longer about individual survival. It's about societal survival.
And for the absolute top-tier, no-compromise level of protection, you're looking at converted military shelters. These are old Cold War missile silos and command centers, totally retrofitted for people to live in. Their hardened structures give you a level of safety against, well, almost anything you can imagine.
So no matter if it's a steel tube or a palace, how do these things actually work? Well, it all comes down to the core tech, the life support systems that keep the lights on and the air breathable. It really all boils down to 4 non-negotiable pillars of survival. Let's just pause on these for a second because they are everything. First, you absolutely have to have breathable air. Second, a source of clean water. Third, a reliable, independent power supply. And fourth, a sustainable way to get food. If even one of these fails, the whole thing falls apart.
And out of all of those, air is what's the most urgent, right? This is where you see the really serious hardware, NBC filtration systems. That stands for nuclear, biological, and chemical. I mean, think about that. We're talking radioactive fallout, a weaponized virus, toxic gas. These systems are designed to scrub all of that junk out of the air. So what you're breathing inside is perfectly safe, even if the world above is not.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds incredible, but what does it cost? As you can probably guess, the price for this kind of peace of mind has a pretty massive range.
So, let's talk numbers. At the very entry level, you can actually get into a basic, family-sized steel bunker for around $35,000. Now that's a serious chunk of change, but hey, to put it in perspective, that's about the price of a new car or a big kitchen remodel.
But
The moment you want a bit more space, some better life support, more customization, yeah, that price tag jumps. A lot. You're suddenly looking at $300,000, maybe even more.
And then there's the top of the pyramid, the luxury market. To get your own underground mansion or even just a spot in one of those community complexes, you're talking millions. We're not in the price range of a car anymore. We're in the price range of a penthouse in a major city.
Just look at this chart. It really lays it all out, doesn't it? The gap between a basic shelter and a luxury compound is just staggering. It really goes to show you that the idea of survival means something completely different depending on your bank account.
So, where does all this go from here? As technology keeps racing forward, the science of survival is right there with it. The bunker of tomorrow is going to make today's look like a relic.
So what's on the horizon? We're talking about taking the whole smart home idea and burying it 100 feet deep. Imagine an AI that doesn't just turn up your heat, but manages your oxygen levels and water recycling for maximum efficiency. Think about advanced underground farms. Not just a few plants, but full-scale vertical gardens that can feed a whole community forever. And the bunkers themselves? We're starting to see materials reinforced with nanotechnology that are lighter but way, way stronger than steel. The bunker of the future isn't just a shelter. It's a fully autonomous subterranean ark.
And all of this leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. Are these things the ultimate, most responsible insurance policy you could ever buy for your family? Or does this whole trend point to something a little sadder? A sign that some people are giving up on fixing the problems up here and are just choosing to escape from them instead? It's definitely a lot to think about.